Hop on Facebook, Twitter, make sure everything going good. We all good, baby. All right, we here with it. Welcome to another episode of Good If It Goes Jam. It's your boy Mike here with my boy DJ. DJ, what's going on, dog?
Got the shirt
Hey,
on. Got the shirt
we got
on.
the pink
So
joint going. You got the pink joint going. Shit, fuck
yeah,
it. Fuck it, let's jam. Let's get right into it.
yeah.
All right, so rundown, y'all already know. We had a lot of guys we was talking about yesterday on the Good If It Goes podcast. That's available on Twitch and YouTube as well as goodifitgoes.com. So you know me though, we can talk about as much as we want to. I gotta ask DJ though, because he be knowing. DJ, is he good? We doing is he good? Who you want to start with? We're gonna start with the home team. We're gonna start with Justin Fields. DJ, is he good?
Yeah, man. Justin Fields is good. I don't know when he gonna play, but no, he's good. And I just hate the way that the media portray him and started making up all these different things. And of course I'm biased, but even before he even got drafted to the Bears, I'm like, why is he not the overall number two pick? All right, you want to tell me Trevor Lawrence? Okay, cool. They've been talking about Trevor Lawrence since he was a freshman. Like we have heard the name Trevor Lawrence for a long time, and for them to just like downplay what Justin Fields did compared to like all these other guys, you can't like it's nothing on film that's going to tell you. And then he ran a 4.4, which is the fastest in for like quarterbacks in the past. I don't know, like 10 something years or something crazy. And so like man, like the way that they treated him don't make no sense. But I'm happy that they did that because he was able to fall to the Bears and yeah, man, he good. Like offensive line got to take care of him and make sure that he stays upright. That's my biggest concern. But let him go through his rookie thing. Let him go through his rookie, bumps in a row. But
Yeah.
he's the type of guy that's gonna learn from all of that. I ain't saying he gonna have a Justin Herbert season, but can he? Yeah, like can he? Yeah, like he got just as many weapons as Justin Herbert, but like they also got a better defense than the Chargers right now. So
Right.
uh, like, and I feel like they can close games, and so yeah, man. Justin Fields is good, and I'm like happy that he's with the Bears. Probably like beyond happy.
Okay, you brought up Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence, is Trevor Lawrence good?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence good. Like he gonna be yeah, he gonna be a generational talent. The game that he played, he was kind of passive, which he said it. His coach said it. He was second guessing his throws, and the biggest thing that stood out for me with them is their offensive line uh was not protecting him as well as like I saw like the Bears did for Justin Fields, and so you can say all that well Trevor Lawrence played with the number ones. Like I actually watched that game. Like Trevor Lawrence played with the number. So you playing with the number ones, like you want to see your rookie quarterback get enough time to go through his reads and be able to
Right.
put the ball exactly where it needs to be. On his part, he just got to play. Like he just got to let the ball go when he see it and trust what he's seeing because that was one of the things that I saw was that he didn't trust what he was seeing but then when he did make the throws, um, like they was like on the money, and so he in a interesting situation with Jacksonville, which the coach is a big unknown, right? We don't know what we getting from Urban Meyer. The franchise normally don't really make always the best decisions. A couple years ago, they was in the AFC Championship with Blake Bortles. He's gonna be clearly better than Blake Bortles, and so yeah, so yeah, we still rolling right now. My boy Mike having technical difficulties. Anybody that work from home, all about that. And so, like y'all know, technology is one of those things where it could be your best friend and it could be your worst nightmare. So we gonna get back on in a minute. Oh, you on mute?
I don't know what just happened, but I'm back. I don't know. Internet shit be happening, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back down. DJ was going in, kind of wrapping up, talking about Trev though.
Yeah. So like what I just said, because it kept the last stream. So
It's still
yeah,
good. Okay.
yeah. So but like my take on point was like, yeah, he good. Um, he has a lot of weapons over there too. So like offensively, they're not going to need anybody to like really get open or be able not to run the ball. My biggest thing for them is their offensive line. Run blocking there is okay, but man, if they don't get like certain things fixed, they're gonna get them killed. And I don't want to see another like Joe Burrow
Joe Burrow.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I feel like that he can have like as Joe Burrow starting the season, like he can have like like one of those like type seasons, even with
Yeah.
like inferior talent in Jacksonville. But Jacksonville got a lot of guys, so like offensively, if they figure out their protections and their coverages with that stuff, offensively they'll be okay. It's gonna be their defense, and then how many times you put them on the field. So if they get the offensive line figured out, he gonna have a good rookie season. It's just that it won't equate to a bunch of wins. Like that's not what's going to
Yeah, I agree. I really do see like Trev on that same trajectory like Joe Burrow too. So
happen.
yeah, here's his offensive line keeping them upright, right?
Yeah,
Because I think he good too. I think Trevor Lawrence is who I thought Andrew Luck was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And Andrew Luck was there, but shitty offensive line couldn't stay healthy.
yeah,
Shit
exactly.
retired early as hell. So that was like the person who like I thought was gonna take them reins. That next QB, but it is
Yeah,
what it is, man. I'm excited for Trevor though.
yeah.
All right, your boy Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson
uh,
good as of right now, as of today, August 18th.
oh,
Is Zach Wilson good
as of today,
as of today?
um, like as of today, like the jury out. All right, let me preface by saying like, okay, I'm biased because I don't know why he got picked number two,
Oh, Justin
over
Fields, I know.
over Justin
Anyways,
Fields, and then like Justin Field got 2 years worth of tape where he's been a top level athlete. Justin Field was one of the top recruits in the country when he came out, like in high school. So Justin Field's been a name that NFL guys have known for a while. Now people fell in love with Zach Wilson and what he did last year, but it's like they was playing against like San Diego Technical State and all these other guys, and like they was playing against like a bunch of like top tier comp, and Zach Wilson only got 1 year of tape, and so it's like, what are you seeing?
he
Like
got
Zach,
one player.
I mean, he got 1 year of like, all right, this is the man type tape. Like he had a little bit of buzz coming into this upcoming, I mean, his last season, right? But it wasn't like everybody was talking about like, yeah, like this is going to be the guy. Like you heard more of that from Trey Lance, who didn't even play, Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. And so like he did he did well for BYU, but it's like when they played against teams that like had better athletes, like you saw the difference in what they was doing. So like he all right, but I don't trust like a Jets quarterback. I don't trust that they don't like we talked about Trevor Lawrence got weapons. I don't trust the Jets weapons. And so like right now, Buddy get like a question mark. Like he just for me right now, it's like a question mark. So I'm gonna try to leave my bias to the side and just be like, all right, I need more film. Like let me see more tape. Because the people that we was comparing him to, I don't see that at all. And like it's the Jets. Like it's the Jets. Like they don't have a track record of like doing anything and then really helping a quarterback. Like they got the Sanchez couple of years, and then they got my boy, I can't think of B for him who was good, who was like, okay,
Chad Pennington.
yeah, Chad Pennington. But those teams was built off of like defense, run the ball, don't turn the ball over, blah blah blah. And that was a different NFL. So like that's their like that's what they got. And if you're telling me Zach Wilson is going to be like this generational talent that's going to transform these guys to get them a franchise quarterback, which they haven't had since when was Super Bowl 2 or 3 with Joe Namath? Like,
Broadway Joe.
yeah. So like
Yeah,
you,
why do Vinny Testaverde hate?
I mean, Vinny Testaverde was solid, but he wasn't like a
Yeah.
franchise guy. Like they looked at him as like a really solid, savvy, vet. Not
It
like
was Curtis
yeah, like
compliment to him,
yeah. Like
yeah.
he wasn't like, oh, this is the guy we drafted to, take us there. They thought Sam Darnold was there. They thought Mark Sanchez was that. They thought, the different guys that they had throughout the years was going to be that. And Chad Pennington was solid. Like that Jets team that Jets team, like that little era was like decent. Like they didn't get a chance to, win a bunch because of the Patriots, but they were solid. But they also had a strong running game, solid wideouts, like a great defense. Like they had so many things put in place during that time, which I don't know who their running back is. Their defense is trash. They won like 2 games last year. Like, and so like he gonna have to go through those bumps, but I don't see him going, like being like this guy. He might have to be on that Sam Darnold plan and people like write him off and then he go take another team and then get more weapons because people not just flying to the Jets like that. Like free agents not just flying to the Jets. It's New York, of course, even though they play in Jersey, but for Zach Wilson, I don't know. He kind of get like a question mark. Like I don't know. Like he played okay.
Yeah, I got a challenge and they ain't playing. Uh, they had a lot of teams on their schedule before the season started. They had Michigan State, they had Minnesota, they had Utah, Arizona State, Stanford, and Missouri. And all them games got canceled because of COVID, because them teams, the conferences wasn't playing at first or whatever, especially like the Big Ten. So all them games got rescheduled. Like they set this up for him to, what I'm saying, show off his talents against better teams. So they did like ADs, they did part. It was just, hey, if you only gonna get, what I'm saying, Texas San Antonio on the schedule, like shit, you can only play who in front of you, So
yeah, no, that's
I
good.
watched BYU, like they cashed me out damn near every week last year. They did beat Houston, like they beat like a lot of ranked teams. Now I know last year it was kind of off, especially in the beginning of the year because wasn't nobody playing, but they beat everybody. And then Coastal Carolina, I think they got that game scheduled like 4 or 5 days beforehand, and they had to fly 3 zones over. You know what I'm saying? That's not to make no excuse for them, but and it's just like
they lost that game. Who they playing that ball game?
The ball game, UCF in the ball game, and they kicked their ass too. So, but like, yeah, man. Now I can't say what's that's gonna translate to in the NFL. And I agree with you. Like I'm an Ohio State guy too, so I thought if Lawrence was one, like Lawrence has been sharpied in as number one.
Yeah.
Field,
Yeah.
So that was just given. Like it didn't matter what Trev did. Like it didn't matter. Even though Justin Fields out his ass in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
But like, so that performance right there was like, okay, because I wasn't gonna take away Fields from losing to Bama. Like it is what it is, right? But if Lawrence won, like Justin Fields like 1A, I like Zach a little bit more than the next guy. We'll talk about Trey Lance, just because like, I actually got to see Zach play, but I can understand still having hesitation towards him. And it's funny that you talk about like the Jets, like in their futility. Like we, of course, as Bears fans, like we know like it's been 30 plus years we ain't had shit but Jay Cutler, who didn't give a fuck about me, start playing for the Bears. So it's like the same thing with the Jets. It's like, yeah, like they've had.
But I feel like, no, like that's a good point, and that's a good point about the schedule because of course COVID, changed a lot of different things, and then like you said, you got to play who is in front of you, and so like like as a Bears fan, like like we ain't really never had nothing, but I feel like from a standpoint of getting guys, like getting weapons or getting like setting your team up, I feel like in the past 10, like let's just go back the past 10 years, the Bears was better at that than the Jets. Like and then like right now, like I ain't gonna look at the whole, the whole like 100 years of a franchise because whatever. But like I'm looking at like the past 10, like the past decade, like we didn't have teams with Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then right now you got Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Montgomery, and then you got an offensive coordinator coach, whereas they got a defensive coach. They
Yeah,
got an offensive coordinator who is like, all right, okay, like it's a lot to me. If I'm just looking at it right now for this year, it's a lot more questions on their side because
definitely.
because it's not really too many like offensive coaches. I mean, defensive coaches where their offensive, their quarterbacks is like this great quarterback, and it's not like issues. And then like I think about all right, Belichick is a defensive coach, and then him and Brady used to get into it all the time. That's why Brady not there now. Russell Wilson, and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is the defensive coach, and they still getting into it now. Like let Russ cook. Like that's always been like a thing unless you got a real like you got to have an offensive coach or one of those coaches that's like completely hands off and whatever. And so like in the NFL, it don't matter what you're doing on offense. If your coach is a defensive coach, it's hard for him to get rid of those tendencies. And so like you really gotta have a coach that's like in tune with your quarterback. And Salah coming from a I mean, um, uh, like being the defensive coordinator from a team that he didn't have to do nothing to do with the offense, like nothing at all. Like Shanahan runs all of that, and like I feel like it's gonna be some conflict or something going on. Like right now, he want to say all the right things. Of course, they both knew they are tied together right now, but I feel like that they would have put themselves in a better position to get an offensive guy, even if he's gonna be trash. But at least you can be like, well we tried this versus like we got an offensive coordinator that's gonna be okay, cool or something, and then at least you can say, let us get an offensive coordinator. And for me, I think more so, I need to see more film with Zach against good competition, and then, but I also don't think like to like his point to his credit, like he's not in the best position. Like
Right,
we don't know what these guys are going to do, but I mean you've been watching NFL for a long time, and then these defensive coaches, like sometimes they don't build the best offensive staff, but them offensive coaches they gonna build a good offensive staff. Like even like if you look at like we talked about Joe Burrow, he has an offensive coach, right? And
mhm,
he's gonna put up numbers. They was gonna be trash, but he was gonna put up numbers. Like and so like even the great quarterback, like some of them, I mean, a lot of them got offensive coaches, and then they trust their defensive coordinators to be good. And so like it's been a while since something happened real good for the Jets, and then that was the issue with Darnold. They got these guys in there that wasn't like, I mean, they got a couple of offensive coaches, but like they didn't really build the everything around them. And people want to
right,
say something about skill positions and whatever. You can make skill positions better. You got to build your line, bro. Like you got a offensive line and defensive line. If your offensive line and defensive line is great, you can go 8-8. Well, not no more, but I feel like you can go like I guess 9-8. That's just if your offensive line is great and your defensive line is great, I think it don't really necessarily matter who you got back there. You can go like 9-8 now because that means you can run the ball. That means you stopping a quarterback from like getting off. And so like that's where they got to build a team at. And I don't necessarily know if they built that. Like that team just got a bunch of guys over there.
yeah. I think, like I told you, like, I think it's like Sam Darnold playing like suck for 3 or 4 years and then go to another team and maybe be better. So, hope. But I really like Zach though. I like his game. Like I told you, like I think he can make any throw. But I also feel like Lawrence and Fields can make any throw. And hell, it looked like the next guy we're gonna talk about, Trey Lance, can throw too. It looked like so.
Yeah.
Uh, talk to me about Trey Lance. Is Trey Lance good?
Yeah, he gonna be good. He just got to get time because he look like a guy that hasn't played football in a long time, which that's like true. But you saw the rookie stuff, like you saw the rookie mistakes. He was only 5 for 14. They had a couple of drops, but he had fumbles. He took sacks, and all of that stuff. And how we talked about the team that's built around them, bro, they're gonna be able to run the ball and play and pass with a guy that can throw on the run a 50-yard bomb without even like doing nothing. Like that play action pass is gonna be nasty. So like he's good, but that system around him is gonna make him better. And so like I see why they picked him. I just didn't understand, like what did they see in him over Justin
Right.
Fields, because it's like what like I don't see nothing right now that he's going to be able to do or is doing that's better than what Justin Fields can do. Like, what are you telling me? Like, Justin Fields' arm is strong. Like, Justin Fields played against top tier competition, and so like not to be like a homer or nothing, but it's like I know these NFL guys. They be like, I got to get my guy. They always be like, I got to get my guy. If I strongly believe in him, I got to get my guy. And so like that was like to me one of those cases. Like I thought Shanahan thought that he was gonna get another Patrick Mahomes type guy, a guy that's like slender, can make all of the throws, and that has unlimited, upside. And I don't know if you looked at Justin Fields in that same mode. I don't know
Right.
why, but like I think that's more so like what he was thinking. But Trey Lance is good. Like his upside is crazy. His floor is low though because he didn't play, and like he went from playing, as you always say, D2 guys. So he went from playing at that level, playing only one game last year, didn't even look good in that game, and then now and then now you the number 3 pick overall, and this team mortgaged the future for you, which lets you know that you're gonna be playing very very soon. So he's good. They just got to give him time, and he's with the to me like probably like one of the best guys for there. And they've
Yeah.
been looking at him for a while, so like they know what they got, and as long as he don't lose them games, like they'll be straight because they gonna be able to run the ball. Like they didn't have C.J. Beathard and Mullins and all these other guys where they'll still be able to like run the ball. But now, if I can run the ball, I can flash and pass with a guy, and Shanahan know how to scheme guys open. So he may not have like the top tier skill guys, except for Kittle, but like he gonna scheme the rest of them guys open. Kittle gonna get open, but the rest of the guys he probably gonna have to scheme them open. And so like he's in a really good position. He just gotta trust the system.
Yeah. Um, Again, I think this is like we talked about on the podcast last night. This is a team that's in now mode. They could, if they get through their division and get wins, like if they can go 3-3 in the division, that's probably a 10 to 11 win season for them.
Yeah,
Um,
especially with that extra game. And
yeah,
then for them going 3-3 in their division, that's actually good. That division is tough, man.
yeah,
Like
it's tough.
it's the best one in the NFL. Um, AFC North is
AFC North, but it's like the Bengals are trash,
exactly.
and I think the Browns it might be some ass too because the back is trash, and the Steelers you really don't know what you can get with them. They might run off, what they win 12 straight last year, 13 straight last year.
I'm like
They might
that.
run off 12 straight losses this year. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
never know what
yeah.
you're gonna get. So it just all depends. But like the
Damn, why the
NFC West,
Baker
like
hate? Damn, gotta ask you why the Baker hate.
don't worry, we're gonna have plenty of room for that. Baker Mayfield, I know you motherfucker. I'm gonna go on your ass all season, so I ain't trip. But but yeah, the NFC West cake teams like the Cardinals is probably on paper best team, I would say maybe, and like that's dog ass team, like that's a good team. You know what I'm saying? Like everything
Mm,
got its weaknesses. It depends on what you like though. You might think Seattle might be the fourth best. The Rams, but the Rams got better. So
yeah,
um, they gonna have to score some points over there for sure in that division. And if
yeah,
they put
cause
them in, if they put them in, and we never know. So
yeah,
I
and I was
think my
also
signal
thinking,
shaky again, but
yeah, it is. But then also they probably looking at like what they did with like Cap too.
right.
And somebody said last night, bro, it's like any given Sunday, any given
Mhm.
day, it's like Kaepernick, like man, like when he was on his run, he brought them to the Super Bowl, and then next year, like NFC Championship, it was like they had a formula. And it was like, all right, well, I may not be the best at this that, but like when I get out this pocket, like can y'all catch me, like or no, like, and then they couldn't, like nobody could like keep up with him, and so like they probably looking at that formula too a little bit, run the ball. We gotta play good defense. And then we got a quarterback that can go off script. So like guys that special go off script. Like they can do things that like you don't expect them to do at the best time. And so I'm guessing that's what they saw when they traded for Atlanta. I mean, I don't know how they. I mean, did they win a championship? The year that he played, probably because they always win it. But like, I mean, he had a really good year the year before, which coming into the season, they was like, "Oh yeah, this is a guy to keep an eye on." And then I was like, another dude from that school, and then I was like, "Okay, well, let me check it out." But then he only played that one game, and I watched like
Marcus.
a yeah, like I watched like a good part of that game, and I was like, what is this? Like this
Yeah,
ain't good."
he didn't look good at all. He didn't look good at all.
Yeah,
And like, well, somebody knows something about him. And
yeah,
I had a podcast about him, just an ESPN pre-draft thing, and like they just talking about his path and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, man. So okay, Trey, got one more guy, Big Mac, Little Mac, Mac Jones. Is Mac Jones good?
all right, let me preface my comments again. I hate Bama and I hate the Patriots. So, but nah, Mac Jones is gonna be good. He's not gonna be great. Like that's the thing though. He's not gonna be spectacular. Watching a preseason game, he kept them on schedule. Like what I mean by that is like they wasn't in like third and 13s. They was in like third and fives, and then it was manageable. And he knew where to go with the ball. He knew the offense. He knew where to go with the ball. He don't got a strong arm at all. If anybody was paying attention to what they've been doing this week, some of the corners was calling them guys check down Charlies because like they couldn't get the ball, further than a check down. And Mac Jones, 15 yards in, like he gonna be money. It's just that when he go 15 yards and plus like it's gonna be shaky, and those would separate the guys from like decent, average, good to like great. Like you be great when you can get the ball down the field, especially in this league now. Like even guys that's like in the pocket quarterbacks, like people want to be like, well, yeah, he's in the mold of Brady, blah blah. But I was like, Brady could throw the ball down the field like at a certain point, like, and then even now, like he'll put more air underneath it, but that ball getting down the field, and so like we watched Brady at 41 years old throw 40 touchdowns, like, and so like I don't know if that's the same thing, and then and the thing with Brady is like he got the intangibles where guys galvanize to him. Mac Jones is kind of like he kind of like doofy, he kind of like just there, and so like I don't know when he developed that down the line, probably, but for that Patriots team, I mean, I think Kim is gonna start, but I think Mac Jones is good, but he's not gonna be great. Like I don't see like greatness. Like I see like a really like maybe average to slightly above average starter, and he can do all of the things. But if you blitz him, if you play good coverage, like I don't know where he going with the ball. He can't run, and the way that the NFL is now, like you got to be mobile. Like them guys that's like sitting in the pocket, like they are pretty much done. Like Drew Brees just retired. Brady
Fucking
Yeah, Brady is still going, but then it's like who else is a strictly straight back what you call it? You could say Ben, but Ben is on his way out, but then Ben Roethlisberger is 265, and he moves the pocket. So he moves the pocket. A guy like Mac Jones is not going to move your pocket. He's just
right.
going to be in the pocket. And so like that's going to be interesting moving forward because all these guys, they got to figure like the guys coming up like they gotta be able to move. Like I ain't saying you gotta have 4.4 speed, but you gotta be able to move. That's just what the NFL is now. Like the quarterback being able to run is just as dangerous as them being able to like throw. And then they say, well, you can't win with a running quarterback. Like, all right, like nigga, if you say so, like, but you, but those like if you look at the past couple of years, it's guys that can get out the pocket that can go. Even Aaron Rodgers at his like older age, he'll still dip
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, like he'll still dip off on you, and then next thing you know, he got a couple of first downs because you fell asleep. And then a younger Aaron Rodgers will still get out the pocket on you, and then you'll be like, all right, bro. And so I think that's gonna
Everybody
be yeah, and then I think that's gonna be his biggest issue that he can't get the ball like down the field as much as they want. And then some of the guys that was there that was talking about how it was. They joined practice with the Eagles. They was like, well, the win in Boston, Massachusetts area, whatever, it's stronger. So you got to be able to throw into it. And they was like, well, he was struggling with that. And I was like, well, you play 8, 9 games there. Like, what you gonna do? Like, you got to be able to do it because being on target, being on like sometimes things going to go wrong. So like I need to see them special plays from him. But is he good? Yeah. Is he great? Nah, I don't see that.
So Mac Jones has the NCAA record for completion percentage and quarterback rating, and he threw 4,500 yards last year. And it's like what I'm getting from that and what I've seen from his game is you have with talent and his receiver get yards after the catch, and he won't turn the ball over. I
Yeah.
think he 41-4 last year.
Yeah.
Wilson Zach Wilson won like 33-3,
Okay.
but yeah, like I mean, you're not throwing to and Devontae Swift and CD Lamb and I mean not CD Lamb. No, you're not
Jalen
throwing
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen
Devontae Swift,
Waddle.
Jalen
Um,
Waddle,
uh,
what's his
what's my boy Judy,
oh
like
yeah.
Ruggs.
Yeah.
You're not throwing to them guys. You know what I'm saying? Like you got who is the like most of the guys
Nelson
from last. I forgot who the Patriots got now. Oh
uh
yeah,
Nelson
boy,
Aguilar,
boy Nelson.
did
Only
Nikhil Harry get did they keep
I don't
him?
even know. I think they kept
Uh
him because they ain't got the
uh
Mary Bird no more because we got
yeah,
him.
yeah, Jacoby Myers. Um
Jacoby Myers is solid, but it's just like
yeah, yeah.
it's
Janu,
Jacoby
I
Myers,
mean,
dog. Like
yeah, Janu Smith, Hunter, Henry. It's like
I'm not
it's
trusting either of them guys.
yeah, like it's different. They both got injury concerns or whatever. But I think that like what I said yesterday was like I think is that they think that if they get somebody that stay on target, don't turn the ball over, be able to run the ball, they defense come back good because before they not last season, but season before last, they had a top 5 defense. Their defense was really good. All them guys is back. They thinking that they can still do some things. Like I don't like that's not like a high ceiling. They're not like a high risk team. They like a low risk team, but like that's not gonna get you like championships. I don't think like you need more. Like you are going to need more. You're going to need him to go off script and to do something different. And like he like a it's not like a Eli Manning type either because it's like those guys are all like done. Like it's not too many of them guys left. And if they are, they in situations where they on 1 to 2 year deals. Like in the next, I'll say like in the next 5 years, all them guys gonna be gone. You gonna be seeing quarterbacks run everywhere. Like if you can't run as a quarterback, that's gonna be a knock against you. Like in the next 5 years, that's what we gonna see. Like so all them guys that's pure pocket passes, that's cool, bro. That's cool. But if you can get out the pocket, then your draft stock is going to take a hit. Like it's going to because they need to see what you're going to do when the play breaks down. What you're going to do when everything is not perfect. What you're going to do when the defense is like really on that with you. Like what are you going to do? Guys that can move the pocket or get out of the pocket, they completely changes the game. Like Brady is special. Like clearly he's special. But it's only one of him. all the guys that was his contemporaries that was, pocket passers, he got 7. They all at the most got 2. And then they are gone. And 2 of those guys is Manning's. So like is Manning's is Roethlisberger, and then his contemporary is like Aaron Rodgers, who is special, but it's like, like it's different. And Rodgers only got 1. And like and so like the league is just different now.
Yeah. I don't think Mac Jones good. I think he might be one of them guys that just another run of the mill. His numbers were inflated as fuck, and he had and like they lost. Alabama lost when he got pushed in there in 2019. Like they lost. They lost to Auburn, and he had good games. Like I don't think Alabama ever lost because of him, but they sure to because of him either. I don't think all the weapons he had, the receivers we named last year, and then like a guy like Najee Harris was running everybody over. Like reason why Devontae Smith won the Heisman didn't, and Mac Jones set NCAA records and led the NCAA like in different categories. So like I think he led in completions too. So like he also led in yards too. So okay, normally though when guys lead in completions, like they did. I think he's gonna be doing. So we'll see. All right, we'll go on to our next segment. Your Bulls, they
our Bulls
made some moves in the postseason. And I mean off season rather. And had some ESPN guys had some interesting comments about them. Talking about their seeding and stuff. So you talked about it a little bit. And I understand people on ESPN stuff, but damn, why all the hate for the ESPN basketball analysts?
Man, so it was George Sedano, Nick Friedel, and then another guy that's been like filling in. I don't even need to say his name, but Nick Friedel used to work for the Bulls, and so he don't work for them no more. And even when he worked for them, like I like to hear like his takes because I knew he was working for them. But then I was like, damn, like bro, do you hate this team? Like normally y'all supposed to be biased. And then George Sedano is like a Heat fan, and so like he be only talking about them. And then so like the reason why all the hate because they set up here and was talking about the Lakers getting all these old guys, and then they said like in the same breath like, oh well, Vooch is 30 plus and he's a washed all star. DeRozan is 31 and he a washed all star. But then y'all just bigged up like these other guys that's like older or like more accomplished, but they are like, like you can't say one team got a bunch of old guys and another team like 31 is not old in the league. Like Chris Paul, like 36 and just took them dudes to the final. Like 31 is not old in the league. Like I don't subscribe to that because for some guys that come out of college, they've been playing like a decade. And then they be like, well, most of the time you can get like 15 years, like and so like the way that modern medicine is, the way that these bodies, everybody, these athletes' bodies and stuff is made, it's like guys playing longer and longer and longer and then being effective. Not even just like they just on the team. Like, no, these guys are still like good to great. And so like for them to come on here and say like all that silly stuff and be like, well, I don't know why they got this team and they only gonna build themselves up to like a second round team and exit, blah blah blah. Like, bro, did y'all not just see what just happened? Like over the past 3 years in the NBA finals, these superstars then got hurt. Like we talking about all world talents, top 5 players in the NBA, which means you a top 5 player in the world, then got hurt in the playoffs. Even guys that had to play through like injuries that wasn't themselves. And so you telling me that they built a team that can go to the second round and you like, well, that ain't good enough. Why would they spend all that money for a second? Like, bro, what other superstars are available? And so like you talking about a team that can go to the second round, but did you not see just what happened last year? How you think the Raptors won it? Like even guys like playing through like injuries, like Luca. like was thrashing the Clippers, and then he got hurt, completely changed the series. KP in that same season was killing, got hurt, and then they had no shot. Then you got Kawhi, got hurt. Bron, AD, got hurt. Kyrie, James Harden. Like I could keep on going. So if you build a team that can get to the second round, why that team can't go to the Eastern Conference Finals? Then why that team can't win a championship? We just saw the Bucks and the Suns. The Suns ain't been there since I was like 3 years old. The Bucks ain't been there since like my mama was like 3 years old. So like you talking about like really like history, bro. Like and then for them to come on there and say all that silly stuff, I'm like, bro, like one, y'all like just sound like haters. Two, because you gonna sit there and say, well, he got better. They got Cal Lowry. Cal Lowry is 36 or 30 or 35. But then you gonna say DeRozan and Vooch is old at 30 and 30 and 31, like in the same segment. Like they blew me, bro. Like, and I was like, well, tell me you don't watch basketball without telling me you don't watch basketball because they're gonna be better than the Hawks. And of course, everything got to play out on paper. We know this. You got to deal with injuries. You got to get chemistry. You got to get all this stuff. Okay, we know this, but they wasn't even talking about all of that. They were just talking about the players that they brought in. But you got all-star level players in a prime still. Like 31 is not old. Niggas sign max deals at 31 and then still be good and still be looking to sign another max deal when they like 35. Like that literally just happened. Like so like don't tell me 31 is old when players get max deals at 31. Like all the time. Like not even a thing. And then if you outplay that deal, you're gonna get another one when you 35, 36. Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, they gonna pay until he like 38. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Right.
and so like, don't like your best player, which is Zach LaVine, is like 25, and then you got and then your other starter is like Patrick Williams is gonna turn 20 at the end of this month, and then what you call it, Lonzo is like 23, 24, or something like that. And then you got two like veterans that's been playing, but it's like it's not like they both was in like the playoffs last year. They got all this, they both was coming from like the Olympics or something. They like, got all these miles on them and stuff. And so like for them to be on there talking crazy, like just don't make no sense because what do you do as a team? Like it's only so many superstars you can get, right? It's only so many guys we call superstars. None of them was available this summer. So what I'm gonna do is get all-star level talent if I can. This is the first time ever they was able to do that. So if I can, I'm gonna get all-star level talent and then I'm gonna roll the dice. And then normally thinking you be like, well, I need to build a team with certain type of guys. All that out the window. All these stars stay getting hurt. In the past 3 years, the NBA Finals has been affected by stars getting hurt. Like if you not watch, I mean, in the past 3 years, and I don't see that going away. Like every team that you picking, like if you look at the betting odds and like the top teams, they all got like injury concerns. Even Giannis coming back, that wasn't even like for sure, but he got hurt. That's a part of basketball. And so, like, for them to be like, well, they're 10th, 11th seed, maybe fighting for the playoffs, bro, like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. They just be saying ridiculous stuff, man. And then
Yeah.
I'm glad it went viral on Twitter. Like, so like that's why all the hate because I was watching this like, bro, I need to talk about this. Like, y'all think this is gonna be a 10, 11 seed? Like, are y'all kidding me? With all that talent, even if the chemistry not right, talent wins. Like
Right.
the Nets didn't have no chemistry the entire year, and these niggas was going to the NBA Finals. Like no chemistry the entire year. And if KD feet wasn't so big, them niggas would have been in the NBA Finals. Like
Yeah.
no chemistry the whole year, but they have more talent, and that wins out. Now, it is outliers to this, right? The Detroit Pistons, like you got these teams, the Raptors, you got these teams that's like, all right, they chemistry, help them win a chip. Oh, or the Mavericks that year, more chemistry than talent, right? And so it's always gonna be outliers to that, but like, bruh, you got enough talent,
You
you
gonna
gonna
win.
win.
Or
NBA is a
you at least gonna be there. You at least gonna be
yeah,
there.
NBA is a really like a players league, and what that means is like it's the best players win, not necessarily always the best teams. Like
Right.
the best, like in the NFL, like you need a good team. You can have Patrick Mahomes, but if he ain't got nobody blocking for him, then like
It's well done, like we see in the
yeah,
Super
yeah.
Bowl.
And so like
Mm.
you can have like just having the best players at their position don't do it. In the NBA though, you got the best players at their position, nigga, you gonna be there. You gonna be there. And so like that's why all the hate, man.
I ain't mad at that. Yeah, Nick Friedel is the joke. So, like, anytime I like see him, like I just scroll past his shit. So I'm glad you took the time to suffer through that for a little bit.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
fucking clown, though. So, and I know you watching Nick. Fuck you. All right, we're gonna move on. Last segment. Get him out of here. Uh, I hate to do this because this is my boy. But that was like 10, 12 years ago that I was rocking with him in the college football days, man. I think everybody was, and just like college basketball, college football is just such a different sport. Like just like the guys we talked about today, like all these guys were dominant. Like I said, Mac Jones has NCAA records last year. Like dude had a 200 plus quarterback rate now in college. I
Yeah,
doubt
that
that
right.
doesn't. I doubt that doesn't translate half of that. And I know that's not saying a lot, but this guy here was another one who didn't translate on multiple ends. Former Jacksonville Jaguars tight end Tim Tebow. DJ, get him out of here.
All right, so let me preface this by saying he don't bother me like that much as he do like everybody else. But like I watched that Jacksonville game and like that's clearly like privilege. Like my old coach made it to the NFL. So then like I watched him miss those blocks. I watch him miss those blocks, and then I watch him run two of like the wrongest routes because whoever was the quarterback at that time threw the ball right past him, and they threw the ball to somebody else, and it was a completed pass, and I was like, why was he right there? And I said that twice, and no NFL coordinator that still has a job runs player routes where they are right next to each other. If you're gonna be right next to somebody, that means you are 10 yards, like y'all in the same area, but y'all like 10 yards apart. This nigga Tim Tebow was right next to the guy that got the ball in back-to-back plays or like within the same series. And I was like, wait, he don't even know the plays. Like he don't know where he's supposed to be at. So like for him to be like just in the league uh in a preseason game at 34, never played this position ever, is a deposition like is a definition of like privilege of him, having that relationship with Urban Meyer. And it's like why? And then the reason why they cut him, I think probably because somebody, well, if that wouldn't have went viral, then maybe they wouldn't have cut him. They would have probably cut him eventually, but probably not this week. Urban Meyer is a dude that cares about like what people be saying. Urban Meyer is like a really proud, like egotistic guy. And so like he like, no, we not about to be doing this. Tim, thank you for your service. And then let's move on. And so like, bro, he can like block, couldn't run the right route. It wasn't throwing him the ball. So get him out of here because why? Like 34, 34 playing a position that you never played in the most competitive league in the world. And it's like that's really tough to do. Even guys when they try to make guys that's like quarterbacks their whole life into wideouts, like few and far of those guys, like or running backs, like those guys don't even be making it. They be in great shape. Those guys don't always make it. Like it's outliers, of course, but like think about all the guys they told to, hey, bro, come play this different position that you never really played since like high school when you was like a crazy good athlete. You was the best athlete on the team, but come play this position for the NFL. Like come train at this position. Come work out at this position. This dude was just like, oh, Urban Meyer coach, let me call him and see what position I can like get away with. And you can't get away with like being no tight end, bro. You gotta block. Like you gotta block and catch. Like that's not like a position where you can just hide it. Like I don't even know what position he can on the offensive side where he can just like hide it. Like fullback maybe, but you gotta block. And so um like all that was just like didn't make no sense. And it was just like a minor distraction for them. But it's Jacksonville, so really was that even a really distraction? Like it's Jacksonville, like they don't really matter. Like they don't matter. They not good. So like and then Trevor Lawrence been able what it did though, it helped Trevor Lawrence stay like under the radar. Literally, I watch all these shows, and when guys talking about rookie quarterback, Trevor Lawrence be like the fourth, fifth guy mentioned, like literally all the time. Like they pretty much put him over there and be like, all right, he gonna be all right. So Tim Tebow helped cause a distraction for Trevor Lawrence to go under the radar, take some pressure off of him. But then now he gone. Jacksonville said it, so I gotta say it too. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Dude sucked at quarterback in the NFL. He sucked
Yeah.
at baseball and he sucked at tight end. So he can get up out of here. And Tebow, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know you watching.
everybody has their thing. Yeah, I know you're watching. Everybody, Tebow mania, we had Lynn Sanity, we don't have, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's sad though, because I love dude in Florida. And I wasn't an Urban Meyer fan at Florida, but I grew to love him at Ohio State. And Schwab was trying to go in on him because he a Michigan guy and all that shit. But at the same time, like that's definitely privilege. Nepotism, man. You get in a position, you put your people on, like, and it's like
for sure.
Yeah, this is a fucking joke, and we got the number one pick. We don't need to sell tickets with Tim Tebow. Like, he a Florida guy. I think he from Jacksonville, damn near. It's like, yeah, we don't need him, like, really to So
yeah. I mean, they got the number one pick. They was able to sell. They was able to sell like all them jerseys with him on there. And nigga from the Philippines. Hold on, that ain't right.
I think he was born over there, something like that.
But like they was able to sell, all them jerseys. So I mean, that's that's cool. Yeah, that's like that was cool. But it's like, oh yeah, they moved to Jacksonville. Yeah, you're right. When he was 3.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, they was able to sell them jersey, but then what you do with a retro now it's a retro Tebow Jacksonville jersey. Like what do you do with that? Like, and so like you said, like you get in that position and then you like put your guys on, and that's what that's what you'll do. I think we got Shane coming in, I guess, to help us finish off the show.
There he is. Shane O'Mac.
Have we started with Tebow yet?
We at the end of it. But
yeah, we at the end of it. So yeah.
Okay. What did I miss?
Just to get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Back to back to Bible camp.
Hey, you trying to get on video or you just audio?
I'm just audio now. I'm laid up, but I just wanted to, I wanted to join in, and I got the message that the Tebow segment was starting, so I had to join in. It's been a 2-day crying fest for the Blue Checkmark Brigade, and telling people like me what awful people we are, because we celebrated a fantastic human being getting cut from the football team. The fantastic multimillionaire that sucks at football, hasn't been good in over 10 years, has absolutely no business at a train. The only business he has is a training camp is honestly, if some of the players wanted to call somebody in for a prayer, that's the only thing that he could maybe contribute, because he sucks at football. We know that. I just can't believe like this was even a thing. And what's funny too, like on our show last night, I believe it was either DJ or PJ, it was one of the two, brought up the fact that if those videos didn't leak from the weekend, like if that tape wasn't there of those back-to-back, I mean, we'll call them block attempts. Like if that didn't happen, he's probably not cut, and there's a decent chance he makes the team. Like that was so embarrassing that Urban Meyer put his heart medicine down and said, you know what? I got to make a decision here, and I actually got to cut this guy. And I mean, I'm just like, it's unbelievable, man. And I'm just, it's like, I can't believe this is like one of the biggest stories of training camp. Yeah, we got all these exciting rookies. We got football back, fans in the stands, and all the Albert Breers of the world want to do is talk about how, give old Timmy a pat on the back because he gave it his all.
And Shane, like, you just made me think of another point that I was supposed to bring up. Like the thing, because he worked for ESPN, right? He do College Game Day, or he do like one of the college shows, right?
Yeah, he works for ESPN and the SEC Network. So okay. Yeah.
So like some of the football guys, and then some of the other guys that work for ESPN, they was asking them, like how like they felt about him being cut, and nobody wanted to like be honest. They was like pretty much saying like, well, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Like, and then I know that's their colleague, and I know that that's like their boy probably, and I know they might run into him later on another show. But I watched enough ESPN that next day, and it was like, man, it was like 3 or 4 shows that I watched, and nobody wanted to be honest. Like, not one person. Like, we talking about at least 12 people on TV, men and women. Nobody wanted to be honest. They was hitting me with cliche lines here and there. And then I was like, bro, if there was anybody else out here doing this and he didn't have no connection to him, y'all be frying this cat. But then nobody wanted to be honest.
It's incredible, man. And like we talk about like every training camp, right? You get guys that bust their ass for the however many weeks it lasts. And, some of these guys, and then they get cut. And the lucky ones will get picked up on a practice squad for another team. That's the lucky ones. The ones that don't, shit, man, they're out of a job. Like, those are the people that I feel for. Not the guy that's going to go back to ESPN next week and start talking college football for high 6-figure salary, probably even more. You know what I'm saying? It's going to tour the world giving inspirational speeches and make millions. That's the guy like we're supposed to, shed a tear for because he gave it his all after not playing for 10 years. No, there's nothing feel good about this. Like, nothing at all. Like, the way that they've tried to twist this into, well, no, what he did was great, and you're an asshole if you don't like it. It's amazing. And that's a good point. Like, yeah, like I didn't see as much coverage as you did. I just pretty much saw the tweets, but I don't doubt it at all. What you just said. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. And this is ESPN too, where these guys are making a living out of ripping players every single day, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then they gotta like he their colleague, but at the same time, at this point he's a player, and so if y'all gonna bring up this segment about a player getting cut, which players like right now is the week where players getting cut. Next week, players gonna get cut. But if y'all gonna, bring up a segment about this one particular player being cut, why not be honest about it? Because y'all went out y'all way to make it important because players get cut every single week, right? Once they start getting cut, they get cut every single week until we get down to the regular season. And so like I watch these shows and I watch guys because I wanted to make sure that I was right. And I watch, guys and girls and like I watch these people not say nothing. Like I watch them not say nothing and like tiptoe and like if that was like a Jameis Winston or something, they'd be ripping him. This guy can't play. He a knucklehead. They'd be saying 100%. All type of stuff. Like and so like if it was like anybody else, pretty much like they'd be talking about how he can't play, but. I mean, you got to judge him based on him being a player, not your colleague at this point. Like he can't get mad at he can't get mad at you for being right. And then even if you watch like a Tim Tebow show where he's giving his take on something, he don't never really be like super harsh. And for me, it's kind of like you're not really being honest with what you see. Like they'll ask him, like, do you think this trash team will be able to beat Bama? He's like, well, I don't know. If they got good, like, they got good pieces. You know, anything can happen on a college football Sunday or Saturday, and blah blah blah. And it's like, bruh, do you think they could beat him? Them, yes or no? Like, no shot. Like, say what we need to hear, or like really be honest with yourself. And it's kind of like the people that was covering him, they kind of just tiptoed and did what he do a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's and right, and to add to that, it's funny too because of this attitude that came out from the the prominent NFL writers, I guess you could say. Because I mean, look, there are plenty of people out there like us, like me and you and Mike, and people that have ripped this, right? Like I think it is a popular sentiment, but as far as, and I'm glad you brought it up, as far as the big names, the Adam Schefters, the Ian Rappaports, the Albert Breers, like the guys who have the most influence on covering the league, like they just, they just immediately ran to defend this guy and defend this like whole charade. And it's just bizarre. I mean, it's like, if you just look at this from the outside, a guy that barely lasted in the NFL at playing quarterback, hasn't played a snap in over 10 years, shows up to training camp and as a position he's never played before, is absolutely awful. And all of a sudden, like, we're the bad guys because, and it's like, I didn't celebrate him getting cut. Like, that's another thing. We're not celebrating him getting cut. We're pointing out what a fucking joke it is. Yeah. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, I didn't call you guys up and laugh. And we didn't high five. We're just like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you're taking the spot of somebody that clearly deserves it over you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous.
And then I watched that game and like, I watched, the missed blocks. Like in a moment, I didn't know that was Tebow missing on blocks. I just saw somebody get blew up, or I just saw like a play happen. Because of course, there's a bunch of plays in a football game. But I did pay attention to when, like I said earlier, they threw the ball. It was 2 completed passes, and it was to the person that was right next to Tebow twice. And I was like, bruh, he ran the wrong route, because they wouldn't have threw the ball to the dude that was just like in the middle of nowhere. Like, he ran the wrong route because like ain't no coordinator calling like plays or routes where guys is right next to each other. Like, that's stupid. So like, he clearly ran the wrong route twice. And then I was like, wait, this guy don't know what's going on. Like, so not only was like the effort not there, like he was confused. Like, he shouldn't have been there.
No. Yeah, I mean, the guy has no business on the football field. And oh man, it's just I can't even believe like it actually got to that point. And I forgot which one of you was that brought it up last night, but it was a great point. If like for some way, somehow, like either those plays just didn't happen, or, it was able to get buried in game film. Nobody caught it. What happens, right? Like, it's an interesting question. Does he probably make the team? I think so. I don't think Urban, like, it was such an abrupt release that like those plays were so bad that, Urban was going to get destroyed if this charade continued, right? I just like, if that doesn't happen, is Tim Tebow on the opening day roster for this team? And, hypothetical, obviously, but it is funny, like how quick it happened.
Yeah, because I think the cuts was supposed to be, I want to say this weekend, next weekend, and then the following weekend. It's like the final cuts, because the roster's got to be done like the week leading up to the season or something. I think that's when like the official cuts happen. I seen the calendar online, but I forgot it. And so, like, yeah, like, guys been getting cut during this week, but the guys that's been cut during this week, it's like, well, something had to happen, because why not just keep you until after the next preseason game, right? Like, you need the bodies right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he got cut because, the internet went crazy.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Like, maybe he doesn't maybe if those plays don't happen, maybe he still doesn't make the team, but there's no way in hell, excuse me, we're talking about Tebow, heck, that he would have been cut yesterday. No chance.
Yeah. I don't think he would have been cut, but I don't think that he makes the team. I think that they may keep him around, but I don't foresee him like making the team, like doing what, like, because I didn't think he was gonna be good. Like the plays that I saw, like he looked exactly like how I thought he was going to look. The one thing I didn't expect was like the lack of effort, like because on those blocks that he missed, that was a lack of effort. It's like you can like you've been practicing blocking people for like 2 months now or whatever the case may be, right? Like he didn't even try. Like that was a
Right.
lack of effort. Like
Right.
you was right there.
Yeah, and it's not like he's going to run out catching passes.
Yeah.
You know, like I one of the things in sports that I always irritates me is when the conversation comes up when somebody will say something along the lines of like, you know, could LeBron James be a tight end? You know,
Yeah.
could so and so play in the could an NFL player play in the NBA? Like, you know, maybe if you groom them from years ago, but do you not realize like how skilled you have to be to play these positions? Like, it's not just about athleticism. Like, it's an actual skill to go out there and play tight end in the NFL. And Tim Tebow has never done it, and he's never done anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't been good since he was at, you know, I'll give it to him. At Florida, like, he was bigger and stronger than people. You couldn't tackle him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he also had some really good talent around him. Percy Harvin, Aaron Hernandez. You know, there was a lot of talent around him, but like he produced in college. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he came to the pros and we realized quickly that this guy just cannot play quarterback at this level. And, you know, you're going to tell me 10 years later, all right, here, come to camp, come play tight end. Just bizarre. It was bizarre from the beginning. And I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
I gotta reevaluate myself according to Ross Tucker and Albert Breer, you know, about what an awful person I am. Because
I'm glad I didn't see none of those tweets, but I did see ESPN guys for like hours tiptoeing around this issue. Like,
yeah, what you just described, like what those guys were saying, that's exactly, you know, that's the tweets.
Oh, okay. So
it's basically the same thing, except like they even went even a step further, saying like you need to evaluate yourself.
oh, okay, yeah, like that's terrible.
All right, y'all. Shane, appreciate you hopping on.
You got it.
We always love having guests. Definitely love what you brought today.
I had to say my piece. So you guys enjoy the rest of your show. I'm gonna tap out. I'm gonna clock out, I should say, actually.
Yeah, we wrapping up now. So appreciate you coming to jam with us.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Shane will be on tomorrow night, 8 Central if it goes
better.
So we're gonna have some stuff for you. DJ, as always, appreciate Jam Week. Let's see that one more time, DJ. Let's see that one more time. Yeah. So buy a fucking shirt if you're watching. All right, y'all. We out of here.